hopefully you guys can tell, I'm actually filming today. I'm filming currently today. You could probably also tell because of how loud it is outside. Hopefully you guys don't mind some background ambiance. I'm going to be soft talking as well, so maybe I can help drown out all the background noise. But I'm filming actually today, this afternoon, early afternoon, because today is in fact a very important day in the NBA season. Today is actually the NBA's trade deadline, so no other players for the entire year can be traded after today. It's definitely one of the more exciting days in the NBA season. I know for a fact you guys want a video about this, so I'm giving you guys in real time, basically only a couple hours after the trade deadline is over, a brand new video about it. So I guess if you guys really appreciate the effort I'm putting into this video, you know, filming it, editing it, and doing everything before in my usual upload time, hopefully you guys will be encouraged to like the video, give this video a comment, subscribe to the channel. And also today is in fact my channel's anniversary. Tomorrow I think I'm going to come out with a video more talking about sort of like my thank you to you guys, sort of more of like an anniversary video. But since today is in fact the NBA trade deadline, I kind of want to prioritize that. So if you do feel the need to do like a super comment or like have like a very emotional, I guess, thank you in the comments, thank you, I'll probably be reading them in maybe my next video, or just again, my next video tomorrow will be more of a traditional video talking about my channel anniversary. So with that being said, let us get started. So I guess technically we're going to be grading these trays. I'm not really sure what I'm even going to be titling this video. Again, I'm literally editing and posting this video in a couple hours, so I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. But I think I'm going to be doing, or at least looking at some of the grades of some of the, the people who get paid the big bucks to write these reports. But kind of just really just want to go over the trades that went down in this year's NBA trade deadline. They're not going to be in any order. They might not be every single trade. Probably not a lot of the smaller trades that are going on either. Just some of the trades that I mostly just want to talk with you guys. So this is on Bleacher Report. These are the Bleacher Report grades. You guys know that's usually the website I use whenever I do my basketball talking videos. And just a couple of random ones just to sort of start the video out. Denver Nuggets ended up trading Bones Hyland to the LA Clippers, which I thought was a pretty interesting trade. Of course, Bones Hyland is actually a pretty decent scoring guard for the Denver Nuggets. Apparently, that I read up, he sort of was finding his way out of the rotation. Not sure why. I don't know if it's based off of attitude or just play or whatever it was. Bones Hyland actually is a pretty solid pickup for the LA Clippers, since they also were a team that were selling off and buying a bunch of different pieces here and there for their team. They ended up only trading 2 second-round picks for Bones Hyland. Nuggets got a grade of a D-, and the Clippers got a grade of an A. I'd probably say the same thing. Not sure why or how Bones Hyland got traded. I know he was playing pretty well for them while Jamal Murray was out. Don't know if the sort of return of Jamal Murray sort of rubbed him the wrong way, knowing that there's pretty much an open point guard spot for the Clippers right now. I think Bones Hyland might be trying to take that spot, since he probably had a pretty good time being a pretty good rotation piece for the Denver Nuggets while Jamal Murray was out. Another sort of like mid-tier trade, we had the Charlotte Hornets, Philadelphia 76ers, and the Portland Trail Blazers making a deal today. We had the Charlotte Hornets getting Civi and a second-round pick. Philadelphia ended up getting Jalen McDaniels, not Jaden McDaniels, but Jalen McDaniels, I think it's his brother or something like that, and 2 second-round picks. Portland ended up getting Matisse Thybulle. Pretty good for all the teams. Obviously, the Charlotte Hornets, not really sure why. I think they're just sort of selling off Jalen McDaniels for a second-round pick. Definitely not the worst-case scenario for them, I guess. The Philadelphia ended up getting a pretty good bulk in second-round picks, plus getting a pretty solid rotation player, good wing who can sort of do it all. Sort of a two-way wing, definitely can improve also with age. And then Blazers get a defender, Matisse Thybulle, obviously losing a defender, actually losing 2 defenders in this trade deadline. We'll talk about them later, but Matisse Thybulle is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's been on the Defensive Player teams before in the past, so that's a good move. He's also a restricted free agent this offseason, so hopefully Portland can keep him after this season on a cheaper contract. But yeah, Portland gets a bigger guard, sort of forward, who can defend bigger, which is great, hoping that he can also bet on Davis. Now if he decides he wants to stay, he likes it in Portland, and he signs for a long-term deal again on a cheaper contract, a good just piece of a rotation for Portland, I'd probably bump it up to like a B+, but mostly because he's not going to be a sort of a long-term guy. He might even just be here till the end of the season, I don't know, but for Portland, if he stays, I think it's a good move. We also had the Lakers trading away Thomas Bryant, who was their starting center for a good little bit of time, since Anthony Davis now is back from his little tenure sitting on the bench. Apparently he actually asked to be traded. Apparently he didn't like the fact that the Lakers were making a lot of moves to acquire some size, getting some of the players that we will talk about. I guess he requested to be traded by the Lakers, which I'm not sure why. He had some pretty good games for the Lakers, and I thought could be definitely a key piece of this team, but I guess the Lakers were just sort of letting him do what he wanted to do, sending him off to Denver for Devon Reed and 3 second-round picks, which, by the way, second-round picks are going to be said a lot in today's video. They gave the Lakers an A, which I'm not sure if I'd give him that much. I think Reed is a solid player. I think he was playing for Denver for a little bit there, but he's not going to be anything that's pushing the Lakers over the top. I'd probably give him more of like a C+, B- as well, probably more like a C+. Talking about Portland, Portland is actually sending away GP2. Yes, Gary Payton, who was only in Portland for a couple months, signed a pretty big contract with Portland. I think they gave him like almost $10 million a year. It was like somewhere around 8 or 9 a year. Back to the Warriors for five second-round picks. Yeah, 5 second-round picks for Gary Payton. So you guys are welcome, Warrior fans, for getting back a really great defender. I actually really liked having Gary on the team. I guess, what I'm assuming is what happened is that Gary probably didn't like the way Portland was using him. Gary Payton was playing small forward, even sometimes a small ball 4, a 6'2", 6'3" guard playing forward positioning. I don't think he liked that at all. He also just wasn't suiting up for Portland. He was sort of agging on his injuries, sitting a lot. You could just tell he didn't really like playing for Portland. But now he's back in the Warriors. Portland gets some good draft capital. Of course, when you get a player who could really help you win now in Gary Payton, trading him away for a bunch of second-round picks, I guess Portland has something else up their sleeve, is what a lot of people are anticipating. Maybe sometime in the offseason, packaging up those picks and something else for hopefully some better help. But that's actually a trade I didn't like for Portland at all. I really liked having Gary there. Portland struggling a lot with defense, trading one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA for a bunch of second-round picks. Doesn't feel good. So, as a Portland fan, sucks a lot. But for the Warriors, good piece to try to help sort of, continue on this maybe championship aspiration team. And then again, Portland traded away Josh Hart for Cam Reddish and a future first-round pick. I actually like this trade when you think of it as a sort of like Josh Hart got traded for Cam Reddish, a future first, and then you also throw in Matisse Thybulle. Not bad for an expiring contract of Josh Hart, who was definitely not staying in Portland after this season as well. I think him going to New York sort of fits his vibe a little bit better, a bigger city. Also getting to play with one of his college teammates is also really cool to see. And Portland taking a flyer on a young guy with a lot of potential can maybe in 2 to 3 years can help this team finally put some pieces together. I think he can be a good sort of 6-man scoring X type of guy. Maybe not this season, but maybe going into next season, maybe signing him for another cheap contract. I think again, him, Thybulle, good building block pieces for the future. Obviously not the home run sort of trades that a lot of probably delusional Portland fans were looking forward to. I actually like these trades. The trade of Gary Payton I didn't like, but the other ones, a first-round pick, you can back that up with a good player, a player, maybe someone like Nurkic, or even in this offseason, maybe look for an Anthony Simons trade. I think you can get something done in Portland with sort of these assets now, and sort of these younger guys who can develop pretty well. Then we also got the trade of Patrick Beverley to the Magic. Yes, Pat Bev going to another young, aspiring team like he did over there in Minnesota. Gonna be trading for Mo Bamba. So Thomas Bryant out, Mo Bamba in. Will Mo Bamba be starting next to Anthony Davis? I have no idea. fact, that the LA Lakers traded away Russell Westbrook. Yes, finally. Golf claps for that. Russell Westbrook finally out of LA, going to Utah, which he's obviously going to get bought out from, and getting back in return D'Angelo Russell, my boy, one of my favorite players in the NBA. Going back to LA, I think is something that could be pretty nice for them. Obviously getting a guard, not anything like Kyrie Irving, but a stretch sort of shooter, a guy who can facilitate a little bit, a guy who can put up 20 to 25 points at any given game. I think this is definitely a way better fit next to LeBron, obviously. But then also getting from Utah, Jared Vanderbilt, who is a pretty good defender in today's NBA, a guy who can defend probably 1 through 4, maybe even some small ball 5, maybe, but definitely 1 through 4, and obviously getting a good defender who can actually shoot the ball a little bit as well. Every, title aspiring team needs players like that. And then from Minnesota, which, yes, Minnesota got involved in a trade as well, getting Mike Conley and a couple second-round picks. So, trading away D'Angelo Russell for Mike Conley, I mean, is interesting. I guess they hope that the veteran leadership of Mike Conley will sort of help this team and their now playoff push. We're gonna have to see. Conley obviously isn't the player that he used to be, not the defender that he used to be, but I don't know. We'll have to see how that fits out over there in Minnesota. But trading away Malik Beasley also to the Lakers is insane. A pretty good scoring guard who definitely is a pretty good 3-point shooter that the Lakers could desperately use. So the Lakers get D'Lo, Beasley, and a good defender in Vanderbilt. Utah gets Russell Westbrook, who's going to get bought out, and they get a first-round pick of that, which is kind of nice. And then Minnesota gets Mike Conley. Not really sure how I feel about that, but the Lakers get a grade of an A, which I also definitely agree with that. That is an almost fleece, in my opinion. Timberwolves get a C-. I'll also agree with that. Not sure how Mike Conley's really helping this team a whole lot. They have been playing better as of recently, but definitely not doing anything too crazy. Jazz get a grade of a B. They get a first-round pick for Jared Vanderbilt. Not bad. And then probably the trade you guys also want to be talking about a lot is Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks, which is interesting. I talked about it a little bit on my live stream, which obviously, if you don't know, every Monday I do go live on my channel every single Monday night. But Dallas got Kyrie Irving, kind of old news. I guess I would give it a grade of I don't know. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks really only traded Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie. I would give it definitely for the Mavericks, and probably an A minus, an A, definitely in the A range, because obviously you're getting you're finally getting a guy next to Luka Doncic. How it probably feels good for a lot of Dallas Maverick fans out there once Luka actually gets back from injury. I'm not actually sure if any first-round picks were involved in the trade as well, but the Nets getting back Dinwiddie is nice. He was pretty good in their sort of rebuilding phase next to D'Angelo Russell a couple years ago. And Dorian Finney-Smith is definitely a player that you can get some good assets back, and even for Spencer Dinwiddie, if you want to ship him out as well after the end of the season, can definitely help you out with that as well. So the Nets, I'd give them a grade of for what an asset Kyrie Irving is, at least to me, I think you definitely could have gotten more. I'd probably give it a B minus, C plus. It's not the worst. You definitely could have gotten a lot more for Kyrie, but obviously Kyrie Irving, it looks like you kind of wanted to ship him off somewhere that he kind of wanted to go. Obviously a place that he can still win. I think you probably could have gotten maybe a better trade package, maybe some more younger assets or more first-round picks, but I like the move for the Mavericks. Pretty surprised that the Nets wanted to take this, of course, with Russell Westbrook and maybe a first-round pick being involved in that trade. But it seemed like the Nets were a little bit shady when working with the Lakers, so they shipped off Kyrie to Dallas, which I don't know if that was Kyrie's first option. Maybe they even shipped him off there just to get him out of there, but I don't know. But that wasn't the only thing the Nets did. Yesterday, if you're not informed, if you're living under a rock, but in fact, Kevin Durant got traded to the Phoenix Suns. Yes, Kevin Durant is in fact playing for Phoenix, which is kind of weird to think about. It's going to look really weird. But Kevin Durant got traded to the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns actually traded away Mikal Bridges, who is just, man, one of the best 3-and-D defenders in the entire NBA, still have a lot of upside. People I've heard call him maybe potentially the next Kawhi Leonard if he can sort of develop his offensive game a little bit more. Kind of crazy. Also traded away Jay Crowder, finally, and also Cam Johnson, so basically all their forwards. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 5 first-round picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's either 5 or 6 first-round picks for Kevin Durant, which is crazy. Is it worth it, though? Absolutely, yes. To be able to keep DeAndre Ayton, to keep, obviously, Chris Paul, and obviously Devin Booker. You know, if DeAndre Ayton can get his act together, this team is easily the number 1 team in the NBA now. Also, going along with Kevin Durant is TJ Warren, who is definitely one of the best bench players in the NBA and could actually be starting for a lot of teams. Crazy that they also got him. They actually gave the Nets a grade of an A-, which I do agree with. Obviously, that many first-round picks for a player that maybe has 2 to 3 years left in their prime. Kind of injury-prone as well. I'll knock on wood for KD, but, you know, hopefully it works out for them. Obviously, Chris Paul has been hit with the injury bug as well. Same thing with Devin Booker. Again, Ayton's attitude, kind of up and down. He could be one of the best picks in the NBA and also look like a player that could be a waste of a contract. So you better hope it works out there in Phoenix. And the Suns also get an A-, which I think is okay. Brooklyn gets an A-. Suns get an A-. Bridges, I guess, is a good building block piece for the Nets. I think you probably could have gotten that better package somewhere, but obviously wanting to trade Kevin Durant somewhere, again, where he can win, you have to be able to respect that. So trading them away, KD for Bridges and 5 first-round picks, also with Cam Johnson, who has some upside, I think it's not bad. And then Jay Crowder is getting traded to what feels like his destined home of Milwaukee. So Milwaukee picking up a good forward in Jay Crowder. That's definitely a good move on their part. Jakob Poeltl actually got traded back to Toronto as well. They got Kevin Birch and a first-round pick, 2 second-round picks as well. The Raptors actually got a grade of a C-, which is kind of harsh. The Spurs got a grade of an A-, so I guess getting a first and 2 seconds for Jakob Poeltl is actually pretty good upside. Wow, I guess the Raptors not selling on Pascal Siakam or even OG Anunoby or even Fred VanVleet or even Gary Trent Jr. Just getting Jakob Poeltl when the Raptors probably could have built a title contending team or have gotten 5 or 6 first-round picks for the load of the players that they sort of had feelers out there this year. Kind of disappointing year for the Raptors. Not really in the spot that they want to be in the playoff position, but also not really making any moves. Gotta be not the best feeling, I would assume. And also the Atlanta Hawks got Sadiq Bey in that Wiseman Gary Payton trade. I think it's great that Wiseman can maybe get some more shine somewhere, a little more time and attention to a place that he's, can develop maybe in Detroit. Hawks get actually pretty decent player there. Sadiq Bey not really having to give really anything up. And then we have, Warriors getting Gary Payton and Blazers getting 5 second-round picks. I don't know. And then there was some other trades like John Wall going back to Houston, which I think is pretty comical. Once Russell Westbrook does get bought out, apparently Russell Westbrook will be going to the Clippers, which is interesting. But yeah, that was sort of it. It's kind of funny how people were sort of talking about this being maybe one of the most boring trade deadlines in a very long time, but Kyrie and Kevin Durant getting traded both on trade deadline day, or I guess technically Kyrie was a couple days ago, but during the trade deadline, that's a pretty insane trade. I think it's more of a disappointment for a lot of the mid-tier trades. Nothing really happening with OG Anunoby, and a lot of other players that sort of, John Collins didn't get moved. There was even some rumors about Andrew Wiggins possibly getting shipped out. There were a lot of mid-tier trade guys that definitely could have made a lot of teams better in some aspects, but once the domino fell of Kyrie, everyone was holding on to wait to what happened to Kevin Durant and sort of, I think, washed a lot of the sort of extra trade pieces here and there around the NBA. But I think that's sort of it. I think that's sort of what happened. I think there's obviously a lot more trades. So comment down below if there was a trade that I missed you really wanted me to talk about. I'll comment it under your comments. So hopefully there's some good interaction. Let me know how you felt about your team or just any of these trades in today's trade deadline. I have to now edit this video and upload it in a couple hours. So thank you so much for watching tonight's video. Thank you so much for sticking around my channel for so long, because